Hello everybody, happy Thursday afternoon, hope yours is going well, and we have another Seahawks video to get to today, but first we just hit 1,510 subscribers on YouTube, so we have cleared 1,500 clearly and definitively, so we will be doing a celebration stream where I will be taking call-ins. So if you want to be on the live stream call-in show, it's taking place tomorrow evening, Friday, October the 23rd. I don't know the exact time yet. I'm still hammering that out, but if you want to watch the live stream call-in show, then Friday evening, keep an eye out. And if you want to be on it, I will be making it very easy for anybody with a microphone or a webcam with a microphone built in to call in. So we're going to be celebrating getting to 1,500. I want to say again, thank you to all my subscribers. If you guys were not watching my videos, I would not be making them. I also want to give a shout out to a couple of new members to the channel. You can become a member by clicking the join button down below. We have Anton, Reicherter, and we have Carson, Ihde. So that's 7 members. They're joining Jason Baker, Hillel, Eiferman, HaWKxXAsYLuM, Ryguy, and Rip. I want to give a special thank you to them for joining the channel and becoming members. And with that, we are going to segue into football discussion because what else am I going to talk about today, guys? What else has driven more interest about the Seahawks in the last half day, maybe a little bit more, than Antonio Brown? So Antonio Brown is going to be coming off his suspension after Week 8. So the time where he can again be allowed to play football is nigh, a couple weeks away. And with that, a lot of teams are starting to look at him, and the Seahawks seem to be first in line. So let's talk about it, because this is a rare opportunity for this team to recast the die. When a season starts, a vast majority of the time, once the season starts for a team, the die is cast. The players you have are the players that you have. The coaches you have are the coaches you have. You cannot really change your fate after the season starts a vast majority of the time. Your team is your team. You can make minor adjustments. You can acquire a couple players that help a little bit, but your chances to drastically change your fate as a football team after the season starts are rare. But this may be an opportunity, opportunity to, as they say, recast the die. And the reason why I'm open to this, I'm not saying I'm 100% for it, but I think I would lean to the side of let's go ahead and do it. And beyond that, I actually think this will probably happen, is because there are things that the Seahawks can do to make this defense better. The defense can start playing better. The secondary can start playing better. We can get some players back. Maybe we can trade for a Carlos Dunlap or a Fletcher Cox. There are things we can do to make this defense better, but there's probably not anything we can do to make this defense good. We can maybe make it average, a little below average. We can make it okay. We can make it better. But at this point, it's hard to imagine us doing anything to make this defense good. The die is cast. So if you want to win a Super Bowl, the easiest path is just to make your offense so good the defense barely matters. And bringing in a guy like Antonio Brown would push this offense from best in the league to one of the best in NFL history. Because I already broke down for you why this offense, through 4 games, looked like it was going to be one of the greatest offenses in NFL history. So I tend to lean on the side of I kind of want to do this. Now, there are risks, and I'm sure you guys are aware of them. AB is a little crazy. He's probably suffering from extreme CTE. His actions in recent years speak for themselves. He could be a locker room cancer, could be a bad influence on players like DK Metcalf. There are risks here. There is a reason why Antonio Brown got suspended for 8 games. There's a reason why Pittsburgh basically got rid of him at the tail end of his prime. There's a reason why the Raiders and Patriots kicked him out. I get all of that. But what I'm going to do here, I want to illustrate something with Antonio Brown, because I think a lot of people out there A lot of people don't understand what AB is on the field. I don't think people understand what AB represents. A lot of people, if you ask them, what do you think of Antonio Brown? They might say, oh, he's really good. Oh, he's great. Oh, he's one of the best receivers of this era. So let's take a look at Antonio Brown here. Let's take a look at his stat line from during what can be loosely referred to as his prime. 4 straight All-Pros. He made first-team All-Pro 4 straight seasons. He made second-team All-Pro in 2013, by the way. He was 1 spot away from making first-team. But 4 first-team All-Pros in a row. What other receivers in NFL history have done that? Okay, Jerry Rice, he did it twice. He made 5 first-team All-Pros in a row, missed a year, and then he made 5 first-teams All-Pros in a row here. Don Hutson, he made 8 first-team All-Pros in a row. We all know how Don Hutson basically invented the modern receiver position, so it was basically trivial for him to make the All-Pro team every year. But he did it 8 times in a row. Lance Alworth did it in the 60s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-time first-team All-Pro for San Diego. Other than that, Randy Moss, he never even made back-to-back first-team All-Pro teams. He never even did it twice in a row. T.O., he did it 3 times in a row in 4 out of 5 years, but he never did it 4 times in a row. He had these 3 magical years. He didn't get to 4 in a row. Calvin Johnson, he did it 3 times in a row. Didn't get it to 4 in a row. Marvin Harrison, he never even made back-to-back first-team All-Pros. He only made it 3 times total in his whole career. I can go on, but that's the thing, guys. Antonio Brown is the 4th receiver in NFL history to make 4 straight first-team All-Pros. And the others who did that are considered the defining players of their generation at the position. One of them is considered the greatest receiver of all time. Antonio Brown is not just a really good receiver. Antonio Brown is one of the 10 greatest receivers in NFL history. Antonio Brown is probably better than Marvin Harrison, Calvin Johnson, Chris Carter, Tim Brown. He's clearly better than those guys. Antonio Brown might be one of the 5 best receivers in NFL history. And a lot of people will blanch when you say that. A lot of people will assume, oh, he can't possibly be better than guys like Calvin Johnson or Larry Fitzgerald. No, he's better than those guys. It's clear and definitive. I could go on, but none of those guys, most of them didn't even come close to making 4 straight first-team All-Pros. And if you take a look at the stats from his prime, if you just take a look at the 6 years that constituted his best years, 1,600 yards per 16 games. So he basically averaged 100 yards a game. 12 touchdowns per 16 games. Got in the end zone. 120 catches per 16 games. These numbers are eye-popping, and I think people, because Pittsburgh never went to a Super Bowl during this era, because Pittsburgh was not even necessarily one of the best teams in the league over this era, I think because of all that, they kind of forget how great AB was, or they just don't realize it. This is genuinely, honestly, one of the greatest receivers in NFL history. He might be number 4 behind Rice, Moss, and T.O. You can make a very compelling argument that AB is the 4th best receiver in NFL history. And he is less than 2 years removed from putting up these numbers, which, by the way, in 2018, very good chance he at least makes second-team All-Pro if he doesn't get suspended for the last game of the year. And I will grant you his behavior made him get suspended, and that's a problem. But regardless, his numbers would have been All-Pro worthy had he not missed the final game of the year because of that behavioral issue that eventually got him pushed out of Pittsburgh. So I'll give you a little bit of it. He can be a bit of a locker room problem, but I just feel like people look at AB and think he's another elite receiver. He is the elite receiver. And I know people are going to say, Why do we need him? He's a wide receiver. This offense is doing all this amazing stuff. We have Lockett, we have Metcalf, we have Moore, we have Swain, we have this guy and that guy. I know it's coming, and I understand, but guys, for all the reasons I just showed you, Antonio Brown is one of the 5 best receivers in NFL history in all likelihood. Not just one of the 5 best of his era, one of the 5 best of all time. And if you have the opportunity to get somebody like that who is only 32 and has basically taken the last year plus off, so you know he's not got that wear and tear on him, because you want to give more touches to David Moore. David Moore doesn't have 1,000 receiving yards in his career. I know we like him. I know he's playing well. He's doing some things right. I'm not saying anything negative about David Moore. But don't you dare tell me that we need to pass up getting one of the greatest receivers in NFL history at 32 because you like this guy who's barely caught half of the passes thrown at him in his career and has 919 career receiving yards. AB could probably put up this in 6 games in the right offense if things go his way. And don't bring me this Freddie Swain stuff. I know we're all excited about Freddie Swain. I know we like the way he's playing. Give me a break, okay? Don't you dare tell me that we need to ignore one of the greatest receivers in NFL history who might want to be here, and the team may want him to be here because we have some 22-year-old rookie who's got less than 100 receiving yards in his career. Just stop, okay? That can't be the reason. There are other reasons why you might not want to get AB, but before I end this video, I ask you this. Russell Wilson is by far the best player on this team. He is by far the biggest reason why this team wins games, and he's having maybe the best season of his career. This is coming off the best season of his career before this season, 2019, where he was in the MVP race for most of the season. Russell Wilson, by all accounts, wants Antonio Brown. That he knows him, he's worked out with him, he worked out from him in the offseason. So I ask you this, number one, don't we owe it to Russell Wilson to go get a player like AB if he wants a player like AB for all the amazing stuff that Wilson is doing and has done for this team? Number two, don't you trust Russell Wilson to have at least some idea that AB would come in here and blow this team up and ruin everything? Don't you think that Russell Wilson, being the kind of guy that he is and the kind of leader that he is, would understand that, hey, this AB guy is toxic, we don't want him in our locker room? Doesn't the fact that Wilson wants this, by all accounts he does, by the way, doesn't the fact that Russell Wilson wants this indicate that we should at least strongly consider this and not just go into it with the assumption that this is a terrible person who will blow up our locker room? So that's what I got. I just really wanted to take this video to get people to understand how good AB is. And I know that was 2 years ago. I know he didn't really play last year, but we're talking about less than 2 years. Less than 2 years ago, he was probably the best receiver, or at least a top 3 receiver in football. And the things he did in his prime are not just good or great or amazing. They are historic. All right, guys. Peace out. Go Hawks. There's going to be a stream tonight on Dragon Quest. Come hang out with me. Come check it out. We're going to be talking through this AB stuff. We can talk about the Yannick Ngakoue thing, too, because he got traded to Baltimore today. But thank you for watching. Keep an open mind in the next few weeks, because I think you're going to need it to get through what's going to happen. Peace.